Welcome back to the channel for the second time today because I screwed up and missed something earlier. But we do have 17 days until early access release date, which is 2.5 weeks away. But earlier today, we actually got a tweet from Starfield showing the years of 2050 to 2160 and the lore that kind of leads up to the Starfield game. Now, they do have a link here that actually takes you to their official homepage. And where I messed up earlier was as I was scrolling down, I didn't see anything new really that was kind of going on. So I was like, okay, I guess there's nothing new. But as some people in the Discord kind of mentioned, if you scroll all the way down, you come to the story so far part. And this is what I missed, or maybe it just wasn't loaded when I came to the website earlier. So let's run through this. In 2050, humans first arrive on Mars. By 2100, humans are living in space. In 2156, humans arrive in Alpha Centauri, which is 4.37 light years away from Earth. In 2159, the United Colonies are established. In 2160, New Atlantis is founded and becomes the official capital of the United Colonies in 2161. In 2167, Cheyenne is settled by Solomon Coe, who founds its first settlement, Aquila City. 2188, Coe invites Vali to join Cheyenne in a new alliance, the Freestar Collective. The Freestar Collective is officially formed in 2189. In 2194, the United Colonies positions the star station called the Clinic in orbit around Dapala in the Narian system. The unaffiliated peoples of the Narian system see this as a UC attempt to expand their borders and demand the UC remove the clinic. When the UC refuses, the people of Narian vote to join the Freestar Collective, who mobilize to protect the system in 2195. In 2196, in response to Freestar mobilization, the UC moves a fleet into the Narian system and Freestar responds in kind. The Narian War begins. So that's interesting. We do know the Colony Wars are going to take place a little bit later on, but this is well before the Colony Wars. In 2216, the Narian War drags on as public sentiment sours. Finally, the Treaty of Narian is signed by the UC and Freestar Collective in 2216, ending the conflict. The term settled systems is formalized in the treaty. In 2221, the Freestar Rangers are founded as an elite protective and investigative force dedicated to serving all citizens of the Freestar Collective. In 2275, Constellation is formed by Sebastian Banks. Original members include Chloe Bayo, accomplished physicist, Aja Mamasa, the youngest member and Sebastian's protege, Darius Andrus, botanist and specialist in xenoflora, Bernadette Laurent, wealthy heiress and adventurer, Evardo Gill, former smuggler, and Kadri Toma, biologist and physician. The lodge is built in New Atlantis to serve the needs and people of Constellation for generations to come. So now we even have a name for that room that they've been showing off where you meet with different members of Constellation. It's called the Lodge. In 2305, Barrett joins Constellation. In 2307, the Freestar Collective begins farming on the planet of Vesta in the Lunara system. By 2308, the United Colonies claims that by establishing a colony in a 4-star system, the Freestar Collective has violated the Treaty of Narian. Diplomatic talks break down and the UC lays siege to Vesta, killing anyone who stayed behind or was brought in to defend it. The Colony War officially begins. In 2310, Constellation comes into possession of their first artifact and tucks it away in the Constellation archives. In 2311, after several years of conflict, the Colony War effectively comes to an end with the Battle of Cheyenne as a flotilla of civilian and military Freestar Collective ships takes down the major ships of the UC Navy using hit and run tactics. In 2315, the UC Vanguard is founded as part of a UC response to the Freestar Collective's use of civilian ships during the Colony War. The Vanguard is the UC's own civilian navy, relying on civilians using their own ships who pledge to protect the United Colonies and its interest. The ultimate reward for the service, citizenship in the United Colonies. In 2319, Sarah Morgan becomes the youngest head of the UC Navigator Corps, though it's a short-lived position as the division is shut down in 2320. cast adrift, but still eager to put her training to good use, Morgan joins Constellation. In 2321, Walter Shroud is co-owner of Shroud Eklund, one of the Settled System's premier starship manufacturers, joins Constellation and becomes its primary financial backer. In 2322, former Crimson Fleet pirate Vladimir Sal joins Constellation. In 2325, Sarah Morgan becomes acting chair of Constellation. In 2325, theologian Matteo Catri joins Constellation. In 2326, Barrett finds the original artifact in the Constellation archives and knows it must be special. In 2326, after months of correspondence with Sarah Morgan, graduate student and gifted scientist, Noel is invited to join Constellation. In 2327, Freestar Ranger Sam Coe and his daughter Cora join Constellation. In 2328, Andrea joins Constellation. In 2328, Barrett convinces Constellation to purchase Star Station L868 and modify it to become a deep space scanner, nicknamed the Eye. So that is it for the timeline leading up to Starfield's 2330, when Starfield begins. So a bit of my mistake early on, as I didn't see this, or my page wasn't loaded. Maybe I just had an old version of the page loaded up. So there you go. That is the new stuff that we have about Starfield. Curious if you have any thoughts, and apologies for missing that earlier. Alrighty, take care.